The survival instructor looked like he wanted to vomit. Not because of fear, mind you. Krell had seen plenty of terrifying things in his 17 cycles as the head trainer at the Galactic Defense Academy's most notorious facility. He had watched cadets from 40 different species cry, scream, and occasionally pass out during the first day of Deathworld protocols. But this was new. The human was eating a sandwich. Cadet Marcus Reeves. Krell's mandibles clicked together in agitation. His voice boomed across the scorched landscape of Training Ground 7, where the temperature had just hit 45 degrees Celsius and the artificial gravity was set to 1.8 standard. Do you find my instruction boring? Marcus looked up from his meal, chewing thoughtfully. Sweat dripped down his face, but he seemed comfortable. No, sir. Just hungry, sir. Skipped breakfast. Behind Krell, the other 12 cadets were sprawling on the ground like broken toys. The Deathworld twins, normally so proud of their triple lung capacity, were gasping like dying fish. Eula, the Korthan whose species had evolved on a high-gravity moon, was face down in the dirt. Even Bex, the cybernetically enhanced Vraxian who never shut up about his superior modifications, had gone completely silent, his cooling vents wheezing pathetically. And the human was eating lunch. You realize, Krell said slowly, his 6 eyes narrowing to slits, that you are currently experiencing conditions that simulate the surface of Kragner Prime during solar maximum? Uh-huh. Marcus took another bite. Was that actual meat in there? On a planet where synthesized protein was standard because real meat was expensive? Pretty warm. Reminds me of Arizona in summer, actually, though less humid than Houston. Krell felt something twist in his digestive sac. Less humid? Oh yeah, way less. You should try Earth in July if you really want to experience some weather. Last summer, I went hiking in Death Valley, 130 degrees Fahrenheit, and let me tell you. Silence. Krell roared. The other cadets flinched. Marcus just raised an eyebrow. This is not story time. This is survival training. The deadliest, most brutal preparation program in the entire Galactic Defense Network. Right, sorry, sir. Marcus wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. Should I put away my lunch? Before Krell could answer, the ground began to shake. Right on schedule. The tremor protocol was activating, simulating the seismic activity of a Class 4 unstable world. Boulders, real actual boulders weighing several tons each, started tumbling down the artificial mountain slope toward the training group. Cadets screamed. Eula tried to stand, but collapsed immediately under the enhanced gravity. The Deathworld twins wrapped around each other, all 6 of their arms trembling. Marcus carefully wrapped up the remaining half of his sandwich, tucked it into his vest pocket, and stood up. He stretched, his joints popping audibly in a way that made Krell's skin crawl. So, do we run or find cover? Marcus asked casually as a boulder the size of a transport pod bounced past, missing him by mere meters. Krell stared. How are you so calm? Sir, I grew up in earthquake country. My hometown got hit by a 6.7 when I was 12. This is what, maybe a 5.2? 5.5 tops. He squinted at the rolling rocks. Plus, these are pretty slow. I mean, for boulders. Slow. The human had just called regulation training boulders, moving at 70 kilometers per hour, slow. Take cover behind the reinforced barriers. Krell shouted to the other cadets, who were scrambling, crawling, and in one case being dragged by their tentacles towards safety. Reeves, with me. They ran, or rather, Krell ran on his forelegs while Marcus jogged beside him like he was out for a morning stroll. The gravity that should have been crushing him into paste barely seemed to register. They dove behind a massive concrete shield, just as 3 boulders smashed into the ground where they had been standing. Dust filled the air. Something was beeping. The heat was getting worse as the simulation entered its second phase. Tactical assessment, Cadet Krell wheezed, his breathing apparatus working overtime. What are our survival odds? Marcus glanced around, completely unbothered by the fact that the air temperature was now approaching 50 degrees. Well, sir, we have shade, which is good. The rock composition looks stable enough that we won't get crushed if more boulders hit the barrier. Air is breathable, Obviously. Could use some water soon, but I can probably go another hour before serious dehydration sets in. Another hour? Krell's voice cracked. Maybe 2 if I really pace myself. Marcus pulled out his sandwich again. 1/2. I have got turkey, cheese, some kind of purple lettuce from the commissary. Pretty good actually. Krell looked at the offered food, then at Marcus, then at the hellscape around them, where cadets were crying for their parents in 14 different languages. What in the name of the eternal void are humans made of? Marcus grinned, and somehow that was more terrifying than anything Krell had seen in 17 cycles of training the galaxy's toughest warriors. Want me to tell you about the time I went camping in Alaska? Now, that was cold. Krell put his head in his upper hands and wondered if it was too late to request a transfer. The third phase began with a sound that made Krell's blood run cold. Howling. Deep, guttural, hungry howling that echoed across the training ground. The Razorback simulation protocols had activated, releasing the Academy's most feared training creatures. Bioengineered predators designed to hunt in packs, each one massing 300 kilograms of muscle, claws, and really bad attitude. "Oh no," whispered one of the Cien twins from behind a nearby barrier. "Not the Razorbacks. Please, not the Razorbacks." Marcus perked up. "Are those the things that look like bears mixed with wolves? I saw them in the orientation packet." "Cool. Cool." The human had just called apex predators cool. Krell grabbed his communicator. "Command, we need to evacuate the cadets. 3 of them are already unconscious from heat exhaustion, and now the Razorbacks are loose." "Negative, Instructor Krell." The voice crackled back. "This is a regulation training exercise. Protocol must be followed to completion. You have 2 hours remaining." 2 hours. Krell looked at his cadets. Half of them could not even stand. The gravity was crushing them. The heat was cooking them. And now 6 Razorbacks were prowling through the smoke and dust, their sensors locked onto warm bodies and movement. "Okay, everybody, listen up," Marcus suddenly shouted, his voice carrying across the chaos. "If you can hear me, stay absolutely still. These things hunt by movement and heat signatures. Right, sir?" Krell blinked. "Yes, but..." "So stop panicking. Breathe slowly. Lower your body temperature if your species can do that." Marcus was already moving, darting from cover to cover with an ease that should have been impossible under the enhanced gravity. "Sir, I need you to keep them calm. I will handle the welcoming committee." "Handle? Handle?" Krell's voice went up 3 octaves. "Cadet, those creatures have been responsible for 42 training injuries this cycle alone. They're not pets. You cannot handle them." But Marcus was already gone, disappearing into the smoke like some kind of ghost. A Razorback emerged from the haze 20 meters away. Its eyes, all 6 of them, locked onto Eula's prone form. The creature's muscles bunched as it prepared to pounce. Then Marcus stepped between them. "Hey there, buddy." His voice was calm, steady, almost friendly. "You don't want to eat her. She is all scales and cybernetic implants. Terrible for digestion. Trust me." The Razorback snarled, showing teeth that could punch through standard combat armor. It was a sound that had made full-grown Korthan warriors soil themselves. Marcus just stood there, hands loose at his sides, sweat pouring down his face. "I know you're not actually going to hurt us," Marcus continued, taking one slow step forward. "You were trained to scare, not kill. Good dog. Good big terrifying dog." "It is not a dog," Krell screamed. "Get back here." The Razorback lunged. What happened next would be debated in the Academy's tactical analysis courses for the next 5 cycles. Marcus did not run, did not even flinch. He stepped sideways at the last possible second, used the creature's own momentum against it, and somehow, impossibly, ended up on its back. "Whoa, okay, this is different." Marcus wrapped his arms around the Razorback's neck, not choking it, just holding on as it bucked and thrashed. "Easy, easy. I'm not going to hurt you. Stop trying to eat me, and we can be friends." 2 more Razorbacks appeared, drawn by their packmates' distress. They circled, confused. Their training had not prepared them for prey that fought back like this. Prey that laughed while doing it. Because Marcus was laughing. actually laughing. This is amazing. Sir, can I adopt one? I have always wanted a dog. That is not a dog. Krell had given up on protocol entirely. He was just shouting now, all professionalism abandoned. The Razorback Marcus was riding finally stopped thrashing. It stood there, panting, while this insane human patted its armored head like it was a common household pet. The other two creatures sat down, their hunting algorithms completely scrambled by this unprecedented situation. Marcus slid off the creature's back, gave it one final pat, and walked back toward the group. The Razorbacks watched him go, then simply wandered off, apparently deciding that whatever that thing was, it was not worth the trouble. The training ground fell silent, except for the distant rumble of settling boulders and the wheeze of overtaxed cooling systems. Krell slowly approached Marcus, who was brushing dust off his uniform. Cadet Reeves. Yes, sir? When the infinite cosmos just happened. Marcus shrugged. I grew up with 3 younger brothers and 5 rescue dogs. Sir, you learn to handle chaos. Plus, my uncle runs a ranch in Montana. I've been handling livestock since I was 8. These things are basically just big, anxious puppies with better teeth. Behind them, Eula groaned and sat up. Did the human just ride a razorback? He did, confirmed one of the Cien twins, all 3 eyes wide with shock. Vex's cooling vents wheezed. I have got military-grade cybernetics, and I could not even stand up. How? Krell looked at Marcus, who had pulled out his sandwich again and was finishing it off despite having just wrestled a bioengineered predator in 48-degree heat under crushing gravity. Cadet Reeves, I am updating your file to include a note that you are, and I quote, absolutely terrifying. Marcus grinned through a mouthful of turkey and purple lettuce. Thanks, sir. So, same time next week? Krell decided right then and there that humans were not allowed to call any planet a death world ever again. They had clearly broken the definition. So what did you think? Did this story surprise you? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this sci-fi story, please hit the like button. It really helps the channel grow. And don't forget to subscribe for more mind-blowing science fiction stories every week. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.